Hi, it's Steve Maltz, the author, talking about book number 6. This one is the last one of the trilogy. Remember the way, remember the truth, this is life. And you can see the first two, very sort of dark coloured and very much negative titles that have caused problems with some retailers and pastors in particular. How the church lost the way is not very positive, is it? And even worse is how the church lost the truth. Dark, very sort of problem orientated with hints of solutions, but the third one wanted to sort of have a positive climax to the trilogy, so rather than call it How the Church Lost the Life, turn it around and called it To Life. In other words, the positive is the primary subject. To life, it's the solution to life. This is a popular Jewish greeting, or when you say cheers or bottom up, you can see the glasses there. A Jewish person would say l'chaim, to life, and life is very important. The Hebraic understanding of life is something that is really pushed in this book. So this book is Rediscovering Biblical Church, and what it does, it goes right through history. It looks at starting at the book of Acts, looking at how they lived and how they thought and how they did things at that very first church. And then, rather than following the traditional history of the church, it follows the history on the fringe of those churches that stuck to biblical principles but were persecuted for it. And it just shows you how much that is now being rediscovered was actually practiced by a lot of churches that were called heretics in the early days by the Roman Catholics. So very interesting to find that out. But the most of this book is very practical. It's like a handbook of how we can change things round. Subject headings are things like Big Father, God, Big Father, small is dutiful. Maybe we're not meant to be mega churches, that small is good. House churches, for instance. Family matters, family is really important. Gimme, that's about money. $64 million question, you have to read that to find out, etc, etc. This book, I'm not joking, this book has had an amazing influence on some churches, some individuals. I've seen conferences that have come out of people reading this book and having their lives changed around, and I have to say this book was totally God driven. When I wrote the book, it was nothing that was inside my head. It all came through God speaking through me. I'm not trying to be all mystical and spiritual here. It's been very practical in the sense of where God led me in my research, people that I spoke to, things that I experienced, just circumstances, and everything just came together, and the book just flowed. And I think the test of that is the effect it has on you. So if you really want to get real with God and to just get to the nitty gritty and to make a difference in your life and your church and your family, that's the book that will do it. Forget about purpose driven. This one is purpose super driven. To Life, the third of the trilogy. As with the others, we have the 3 of them plus another book plus a few other bits and pieces for a special price in our church pack. So we hope to be seeing you in the shop soon. Thank you. Goodbye.